この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Mobile Suit Gundam, starting with episode 41. Don't know how far we'll go today, but we're starting there. Last time on Mobile Suit Gundam, we had a freaking excellent episode. I think that episode 40 is my favorite so far, if only because of the insert song at the end, but also because of all the other stuff that went down. So let's talk about it. We got some upgrades. Sorry. I love that movie. Idiocracy, great film. We got some Mobile Suit Gundam upgrades. We coated all of the parts with magnets, and that makes it go faster. Zoom, zoom. Don't know how it works, but Amuro pretends to, and so I'm going to pretend to, too. Yes, I totally know how that works, and it makes perfect sense. We also turned our attention to Giran and Degin Zabi, who had a fascinating conversation about their goals for the Zeons and their goals for political life in general. Giran's a bit of a militarist, and his pops Degin looks at him and literally asks him, "Hey buddy, have you heard of Hitler? Because you're following in his footsteps." To which Giran responds, "Ah yes, I will be a follower of Hitler. This is what I want from myself." Okay, cool. You know, Giran, you do you. We'll see how that plays out for you in the long run, but Hitler lost at the end, so yikes, good luck, buddy. They're also working on creating the solar system / solar ray. It was translated differently in different places, but it seems to be they're taking one of the full side facilities and turning it into some kind of a weapon, maybe related in some sense to the big array of solar panels that shot laser light at Solomon's Fortress, but man, I don't know. Could be big, could be bad, could be scary, could be very cool. Very excited to see how that plays out in our final battles. I expect that it will be crucial in our build-up to our battle of Abaoaquao, which I still don't know how to pronounce, and even though the characters I'm sure will pronounce it properly soon, I will fail to pronounce it continuously because that's how my brain works. We had Lala go on a little mission with a couple of Doms, a couple of Rick Doms, and they were there to protect her nominally, but they decided to instead hang back and watch her work, leading to them being kind of dressed down by Char because it's like, the fuck, you're there to protect Lala. But their response to that was really fascinating. They demonstrated a truly almost religious reverence for Lala and for the powers of a new type. Going as so far as to say there's no need for normal humans like us anymore if there are new types like this now. So that's an interesting development in the world as new types become more known and more understood, that there are at least some individuals of part of a militaristic authoritarian faction, of course, who view new types with a kind of religious reverence, and are willing to do lots of things in order to be on their good side, as so far as to, like, let us be court-martialed, but let us fight alongside Lala, which is kind of badass and kind of dope and kind of interesting, and we'll see how that plays out in the future, because it's very different from what we're experiencing with new types in the Federation. After that whole conflict went down, we accidentally ran into Lala and Char in the middle of battle, and we swooped in to have Amuro in his newly powered up, magnetically sped up Gundam absolutely run train on them, just doing great stuff. Brought in an amazingly groovy insert song that absolutely made the last half of this episode for me, and made it extraordinarily fun. As far as I am concerned, I thought it was lovely, and did some, literally danced on them, just schmooved on these fuckers, and it was really fucking cool, and I'm really excited to see more of that, hopefully. I kind of doubt it. It feels like we used our one shot at that awesomeness, but God, I'd love to have more of that because it was really cool. And they barely get away. So Lala and Char barely get away. Lala psychologically screaming to Amuro, "You bad person!" And Amuro just being like, "What? Impossible, but you're the bad guy." Which was very funny. All in all, it was a really tightly put together episode with a ton of fun things that had me honestly just wanting to talk about it and really, really exciting, and that was great. This last stretch of Gundam has been killer. It's been absolutely baller. It's been really, really fun, and I'm hoping that that continues right up until the end. If we can end this on a really strong note, that's going to leave a really nice taste in my mouth from the first season of Gundam, and make me like more strongly likely to recommend people actually watch this, which is a bit of a hard sell sometimes because it's old and, old things are different. And I mean, we've had our fair share of episodes that are just like, well, we had our one fight of the episode and it was fine, and then we did a thing and it was also fine. But then there have also been so many episodes that have just been bonkers, weird, and crazy and cool, and it's a mix and match. We'll talk about it at the end when we get to the end eventually. But this last section has been really cool, and I've been really enjoying it. So I hope you have too. I hope you've been, if you've been coming along for this long on the journey, you deserve the reward of getting some really cool episodes. And so I'm glad to be watching some of those really cool episodes. Hell yeah. I just realized I've messed something up in my setup, so I'm going to fix that, and we'll be back to do a beep beep timer and all the countdown stuff in a second. See you in a sec. Okay, great. I just didn't have the actual episode up and ready, which I normally have beforehand, but I just screwed that up. It's fine. Now, I have episode 41 of Mobile Suit Gundam, Cosmic Glow. Don't know what that means. Up and ready. Maybe it's the solar ray, something like that. That would make sense. It is up and ready to go. It is sitting at 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions of this reaction video. As usual, you can find a picture-in-picture version with the video up there, linked in the description down there. Timer-based version will be up on YouTube. Stick around for the discussion at the end, as always. And if you want early access, it's on the Patreon. Cool. I think that's it. If you want to sync up your own copy, the beep beep timer is coming at you. Let's get into Mobile Suit Gundam episode 41. Ow. That's hot from the outside. I did just brew it before I started recording, so... It's, like, almost drinkable, though. Mm-hmm. Tastes burnt. That's weird. I mean, it is the Genmai matcha with the toasted brown rice bits, which I don't want to eat. I'm just gonna throw that away. It doesn't normally taste this burnt. Still good. Gundam. Is a big boat. Is that Cassilia's flagship? Oh, it's Degin. Wait. Isn't he dead? Isn't that Garma? Oh. So Garma was his favorite. He departed? He's just bouncing? Okay. Goodbye, Supreme Leader. Right after he said, without Degin, there is no Zeons. Now what, dude? That just cedes power to you, right? Fully looks like a technical advisor. The IT guy? Sure. Oh, you've only got one shot. One opportunity to seize everything you've ever wanted. Nope. The weird helm with no helmet. Cool chairs. I want one. Okay. Is it about... Oh. Whoa. That's a fucking ballsy reveal. Sorry. Spooky. Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So it's become a second priority? At least that's what she believes. That's what she has to believe, right? In order to keep him around, because he's useful. Very interesting, but what if she's wrong? Oh, hey, what up, Brighto? Hmm? But also the same. Faux show. Of course we can. It's a good name for that thing. You're one of them too. Thanks, dude. Well, that would be nice. It's all been you, my guy. Yeah, you got vibes. I love that we're calling it that. Ra, ra, sound. Huh, what is that? What could it mean? La. It's a fat suit. Wow. Okay, cool. To rust. Ah. Oh. Oh. I super didn't expect that. Oh, it's for your safety. Oh, and he will, even though he's been told to before and he hasn't. Oh, it matters. Oh, it's so cute. That makes me afraid for both of their lives. Shit. Especially Lala's. Because I think Char sticks around. Crap. We get to see Caecilia in command for the first time, really. Very cool. I hate the way that thing looks. Let's go, everybody. Let's go, everybody. Hmm? Suspicion. Oh, hello, children. Bye, children. Doink. I wonder how many of them are new types. All of them. I think at least Kika, right? Not for any legitimate reason, but because it just seems fun. Oh my god, that's a lot of stuff. I like the way that looks. Zap, zap, zap. Oh boy. Mirai's got it. Incoming. Hello, GMs. Ooh, I like that shot. Did he just, like, blaster pistol a full starship? Damn, Amuro, you're getting kind of busted, man. Oh, we've seen that before. Man, we're going in on space battle. I did not expect this to be happening this quickly. Thought there would be a little more setup, but I'm okay with it. That's a lot of suits. We got a lot of GMs, though. We're fine. And we got Amuro. Okay, we've got Stormtrooper aim, though. Nice. Very nice. Good job. Don't know how you're maneuverable enough to do that, but cool. Well, it's here. Wow, those suck. This is like Star Wars. The little zappy drones. Oh, we're doing some more schmoovin' and groovin'. Wait, can you control them? Whoa. Nani? You've seen through their moves? You've seen through their moves. Whoa. That was some stuff. Alright, this is pretty dope. This is pretty dope. There it is. Hello, tricorn hat. One more cut. Yep. And then Lala. Oh. Turned on a dime. I like that sound. Dong. Oh, we're going psychic battles again. Schmoovin' on him again. That's me. Oh boy. Couldn't do it. No, it's true. Oh my god. Oh, it's rad. I mean, maybe. Huh? Huh? What does that mean? As if it would have been better if you'd arrived earlier? You've got tons to defend and tons to protect. Yeah, the fuck? You don't know me, girl. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's true. But I have a family. It's white base. I have a family. It's white base. Yeah, fuck you. You don't know me. Dude, this is rad. All right. Cool. Give and take, give and take. Good job, Hayato. Glad to see you back in action. Oh, here he comes. Here's that boy. Oh. Protecting Char. I love him. Has nothing to do with Xeon. But what about you and me? Eh? Oh. Yeah, girl, I'm the one for you. Oh. What? What? We're doing some artsy stuff. Oh, it's exciting. Oh, hi. I'm home from work, honey. Splits. Our love could be, if only it were not for yours. Nope. Cool sound effect. He'll kill you. He'll kill you. Oh. Man, this one should be called Lala's Dilemma. Alright, you've lost Shieldless before. You're fine. Oh, God. Wow. Oh, it's so rad. Whoa, she deflected it? I almost killed my sister. Okay, one Char arm. Just going in for the kill. Lala self-sacrifice. They what? Oh, that's because you're becoming part of it. Oh, that's a weird effect. Oh, yep, another insert song. This one for the death of a character. Oh, that's super cool. That's all hand done. Where is the what the fuck? Welcome to heaven. Space heaven. Sleep now, Amuro. It's this one again, okay. Bibis? Whoops. Char is never forgiving you for that. Yeah. And you just felt her die, right? You were fucking Vulcan. Wow, that's super cool. Clearly sliced thing. That's really cool. Damn right, dude. Oop. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay, Amuro's gonna become a hermit and live on his own forever. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, we can't go back to this shit. He's gonna put it on. No, okay, he's gonna blame Amuro. Orders? Set time. 30 minutes? Are we in the firing path? Dude, I can't care about that tension after what we've just experienced. That was crazy. Just imagine a fleet of salami. Sorry. How do you know that? Dude, we haven't talked to Haro in forever. Thanks, Haro. Preppin'. Okay. He went there for peace negotiations? That's unexpected. Whoa. But it's not going to work because Giran's going to take charge, right? It can't work. How very interesting. Hi, Degin. How's that going to play? That's a lot of death. Okay. It's getting ready. The big zapper. It's gonna happen this episode? No. That's so cool. Yeah, get the fuck out of there. What are you doing, Musai? Oh my gosh. He knows. That's end? That it's the light of hatred is our fiend? The light of hatred has arrived. Don't do it. Some great expressions from Amuro. Whoa. All of this episode went fast. That was some spicy quick writing. Man, how I don't know if efficient is the word here, but fast. Romance, Char and Lala set it up. Trippy shit, battle shit, cool battle shit with constant evolution of all the characters in the battle fighting each other and the way that they're fighting each other. Insane, trippy mind meld stuff with Lala, and then her death. And then the aftermath of that death. I don't know how to interpret it. But it's going to change everything going forward. It's going to break Amuro, I think. But it's also broken Char a little bit. He really did care about her. Like, really, really. I don't know how they managed to get that expressed to me, but they did. And she sacrificed herself to save him, which seemed like it was what was going to happen because she kept saying all these things about, like, I'm fighting specifically for the reason that I want to protect Char. If I don't defeat you, you will kill Char. Like, that's guaranteed. And I don't think she's wrong. It's interesting. Diving into the characters' reasons for fighting and, like, reasons for being. Oddly, the whole ending sequence reminds me in a weird way of, like, near the end of Evangelion. I guess maybe that's not odd because it's in the same sort of lineage, but whoa, an investigation of what our characters are here for, which is really interesting to be happening here at like 41 episodes through, because it's been kind of a worry and a question for a while, but the answer has always been, well, they're just trying to survive out here. But if that desire for survival puts them at odds with someone else, or forces them to fight someone who somebody else cares about, it's going to lead to conflict. Can it really be that simple? It can, but it also can't. How deeply interesting as an episode. I feel like this one, it went by too fast for me to catch everything. It feels so different. This episode feels so different from everything that's come before. It feels like it's completely differently written. And I guess that's because of the way that we're rushing toward finale. We're throwing in all of the plot points that we expected. But man, it feels better. The fights alone feel so much more interesting. There's so much play between the characters. Like figuring out how the command system of the zapper lasers works and dancing around them as Amuro. Really fascinating, really cool. Okay, I just sat for a minute, smoking and drinking tea and letting this sink in a little bit. I think I need to let this episode sink in a little bit. I want to go through it, but there's so much in this one. So many little things that I really like about this episode. So what's really going on here? This is our opening scene. We open with Degin Zabi sitting here looking at a computer panel display that I think is displaying Girin. I think it's actually displaying Girin is what we're seeing here, except that that's the scene where he was holding out the documents for him to sign. And in this process, I guess maybe it's a picture of no, because it's weirdly moving. But Garma doesn't exist anymore. So immediately we start with this like really deeply personal note where we get this impression that Degin Zabi, Garma was his favorite, and he wishes Garma were still here to the point where he actually sees Garma is still here. Wishes it was Garma in Girin's place to some extent. We're just hearing Girin talk about how, all the planning that they will do. That's all the more reason why we must try to avoid further warfare. And the answer is that's what the solar ray system is for. I'll wipe out the Federation with one blow, Father. But that's not what he wants. He wants prevented further warfare. And he looks up. There's no way he can do it, right, Garma? And he's talking about what Giran is trying to do, right? So now the way they say it is he seeks to defuse a situation that is no longer under his control, and so he leaves without telling Giran that he's going to leave. So the head of state of the Zeons has left their space without informing the current second in command, who is now their supreme commander, and has every right to take that place in order to go and negotiate for peace with Earth. On what ground? Like, how is that going to happen? And he doesn't have the control to enforce it, really. Whoa. But then there's so much more than that, because, like, that's what's happening in this moment. But what's also happening is we're showing where Degin Zabi is coming from and what he thinks about. Like, we get this picture of him not as this supreme commander, but as this old man who's lost his hopeful heir and is seeing his whole political system that he's kept in check for so long falling apart underneath him and turning into a dictatorship under his other son, and he doesn't like it, and he's trying to fix it. It's really interesting, and it's like, I mean, it's weird that he's looking at this thing, and it's hard to interpret exactly what he's doing as he's looking at Garma, who doesn't exist anymore, talking to him in Giran's voice, which is strange. But we get so much more of a feel for Degin in that moment. It feels like there's so much emotional power to it. And that continues on. And the feeling is kind of reciprocated. You're too old, Father. You've grown old, and it's too late. I will continue onward, and more preparations begin and continue. So we get this techno guy who tells us about the solar ray system and the things that they need for it, which doesn't matter too much, I don't think. But it sets up that they're working on it, and they're getting it ready. Then we have this conversation where Cassilia, after talking some strat for a little bit, just drops a bombshell of a question. But first, there's something I want to ask you. What made you abandon your plans to overthrow the Zabi family? Meaning she's known this whole time that Char had plans to overthrow the Zabi family, and she has actively kept him in positions of authority. That's a weird double cross. Not a double cross. I don't even know what the word for this situation is. Like, knowing that someone is keeping your potential enemies close, kind of a situation. She knew him when he was a boy, and he wasn't sure that she would. And yet she keeps him around. And he's caught off guard here. And Cassilia reveals to us for the first time, again, this is the first time we've really seen Cassilia in command or really experienced anything with her except her telling people that she doesn't like Lala's clothes and, like, to do some stuff, right? She's shrewd. She is not dumb. This is a smart lady and a scary commander, and that's very interesting. Well, I've been waiting for this moment, but it doesn't make it any less frightening. Indeed, I am shaking. And she responds similarly that she's been afraid in the same way when she found out about his identity and how it was Lala. You sent Lala to the Flanagan Institute. I realized that you had almost clairvoyant insight. So is Casval, is he meant to be a new type as well? I don't think so. Lala made you believe in the existence of new types. And now you have greater goals than overthrowing the Zabi family. Correct. Giran has taken command, and she just washes over it. Everything else will be dealt with after we defeat the Federation. We have our prime objective. As long as you're working toward that, I don't care what your other objectives are. But what if Char is lying? This is just a hypothetical. What if Char is lying? What if Char is not more dedicated to saving new types than he is to taking down the zombies? He's gone to really far ends in order to take down the zombies in the past. But I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like it's true. I feel like his feelings for Lala and his desire to protect the new types, as passed down as a goal from his father, is something that he's expressed before, and it's something that I think is real. It's something that we learned about from Ramba Ral. I think it's real. So that's really interesting. He's willing to work with the Zeons if it means protecting the new types. Very interesting. Okay. Fascinating, super tense conversation. I love it. I love it. This shit hasn't been happening in Gundam, not to this extent. This sort of political interplay has not been an aspect of this show until now, especially not on the Federation side. Like, the Federation, we don't even meet their politicians. But this is really cool, especially jumping off of all the political stuff that we got in the last episode. It feels like it's continuing down the same road in the same thematic line, and I like it a lot. It's dealing with the core underlying themes and political issues of this war-torn universe, and it makes a lot of sense. I think it's great. So, new types, huh? So we should assume that they have superpowers? Yup, they've got superpowers. I like this moment. I like that all of our primary characters are sitting around on the bridge again and talking about this stuff. Even Hayato and Kai are a part of the conversation and the discussion here around new types. I like it quite a bit. I like Mirai's place in it as well, which is quite cool. Also, Job John is here because, Job John is here. He counts as a character, I guess. Well, I guess I'm a new type, but I'm not special. I'm just a person. Don't treat me weird. We all have to be new types. We're all fucking awesome. Well, not all of us. But since encountering that other thing and the la sound, I've been convinced. And then we turn over here. We're ready to go, Captain. Sure, just give me one moment to deal with something important. We're going to go out there. We're going to sink stuff. I'll head out in the Gelgoog, but this time I'll be following your orders, Lala. Trust and faith. Captain, you've surpassed me now, Lala, and he pulls her in. And in the corner of a little room, getting suited up for battle, they share a kiss, with static on a monitor next to them. Oh, it's such a death flag. It's such a fucking death flag. Fuckers. God damn it. Maybe worry for both of them, but now, yeah, well, Lala. Shit. So he demonstrates something that Char cares about, and we immediately take it away. Look, the simple things work. It's a cruel dungeon master that's running this world, but sometimes you find out what your character's bonds are, and you take them away. Oh boy, but it's got so many ramifications for Amuro as well. It's so interesting. And suddenly, romance is a serious part of the Gundam universe in a way that it really hasn't been. There's been, cutesy stuff with the spy and Kai, and there's been, obsession with older ladies from Amuro, which was a thing, and some, flirty conversations between him and, Artesia. But none of it's been legit. It's all been me making fun of it. And then suddenly, real romantic potential here between Lala and Char. And then, shoof. And she expresses her own sentiment, which is her desire for him to be protected, to wear his normal suit. And I don't remember looking, but I think he does wear the normal suit later. And he agrees to it, if you say so, Lala, if you say so. Oh, man. Okay, so we go to battle and to war. Assault formation, go, everyone, lead. And she is doing the leader thing. I like this moment. It's a really simple thing, but again, because we've got all these characters together, we get to watch them all run off to battle together, and it's got a vibe to it. It's got a feel to it that I really appreciate. We have Mirai do some stuff, and we have Bright look at her like, a weird look. We just barrel through all these kids. They all get gonked, and that's cute and fun. And then we have this really cool scene that I like quite a bit of all these ships and fleets and GMs and other stuff all being released at the same time, and all these little orb things. I forget what those are called. Just the battle is beginning, and we're prepped for covering fire, which we've seen Char like ask for before, right? And now he gets it from her because she does it initially anyway. I think it's cool. I also really like the like stack of zappers on this ship, the way that they pew out across the screen and then come back together. I just think it's really cool. The boom, how they start as one and then split and separate. And like lens flare, pa-choo, pa-choo, pa-choo. I think it's very cool. Less cool is just lasers everywhere, but you know, lasers everywhere. And it feels like we're in the middle of this big battle in a way that some of our big battles in the past have not quite felt that way before. And I think part of that is this judicious and kind of extreme use of all these cut-ins to show multi-character reactions to multiple things. And we get creative with this a little bit later. We've got multiple characters in different colors, creating like different palette-swapped versions of a reaction to a thing. I think that's rad. I think it really works to feel like there are multiple things going on in the battle. There are also numerous moments where we get shots of Amuro that are really hard lines and really like, I don't know, like luminous in a way. I don't know how to think about this style. But they are stylistically different and unique. And then shit starts exploding. This feels like the biggest scale of battle that we've had, even though it isn't, I don't think. It feels like it is. Because the way that we're jumping around throughout it and moving through all these different parts, and all the characters are getting their chance to shine, it's really fun. I like this portion of the battle quite a bit. It feels like we're doing it. But of course, the other shoe drops, and the tricorn hat itself arrives. And it's got these little zappers that zoom around and zap stuff. And they look great, and this whole moment, this whole sequence of Amuro figuring out how they work and how he can deal with them, I think is really cool. Again, it reminds me of like Luke with the zapper thing and using the Force in a lot of ways, which is, it's possible that it's a straight reference or a straight like inspiration, but it doesn't matter. It's cool on its own anyway, and having Amuro schmoove and groove around, and there are some moments where the Gundam moves really fast, like it might be on ones. Yeah, it's on ones. Thought so. I love being able to catch that sometimes. Zoop. I can't get him. And so he starts thinking about it. He starts vibing real hard. I thought he was going to take control of them, which would be sick, and have him, like, mental battle with Lala for that stuff. But no. He gets this flash, flash, flash. And we start using these fun techniques, like these shoop, 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 triple takes, and other stuff like that. I can sense it. And so he does, and he... And I like the way that we demonstrate this. He shoots to where it will be, not where it is. And this time, lands his shots. I can do it. I can take them out. Get the other ones, get the other ones, get the other ones. Zap, 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 zap. I don't know if I love this technique, using the multi-layers on top of each other, but it gives the feeling of moving faster than he can actually even, like, understand, which works. It works okay. The after images are effective. Zap. You can't dodge these. And Lala starts to feel the difference. I like this moment a lot. I like the way that Gundam looks in this scene a lot. It's got those dark lines that might be that one artist. And this here, the shading is really nice looking. I really like the look of that. It's just fitting for him, like, zap over the shoulder really well. This whole set of shots of the Gundam spinning in space are also really smooth feeling to me. You know? Zoom, zoom, pow, pow. But it's a cool concept. He's learned to fight these things off, these unattackable, super dodgy craft. He's learned to fight them off. And we get this ta, 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 Lala? Ra, ra, you. And we begin the dogfight. Really battling. Zap, zoom, zang, boom, bam. I love the sound effect for the big cannons on the, I forget what it is, on the, nope, the tricorn hat. Gong. Gong. I really like those. I like the way it moves as well. And we start focusing on the mental stuff. And we start vibing with the Lala. Things get real trippy in a minute. Amuro. Ra, ra. Shoots the gun out of his hand before he can kill her. Why are you fighting, Lala? Finally, we have a character asking the Hibiki questions, right? What are you fighting for? Can't we fight together? Can't we be friends? It's a little too late for that, huh? Why are you fighting, Lala? To protect Char. Simple as that. Simple as that. It's her only reason. She's not attached to the Zeons. She's not attached to the new type stuff, really, even. She doesn't care about the Federation, doesn't care about the Zeons. She just moves through space doing her own thing and seeking to protect one person. And you are seeking to kill him. So, why are you fighting Lala? Because you'll hurt Char. I love that there's no hesitation or, like, break between these. Bam, bam. And Amuro again is like, the what? You're a bad person trying to harm Char. That's my definition of good and bad. If you help Char, you're a good person. If you hurt Char, you're a bad person. It's how she defines it. Hers is not a galactic morality. It's crazy. Impossible. And then she laser eye beams him. But of course, it's a zapper thing, and he chops through it. Zap, 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 zap. Really cool cuts, again, of cool cuts, as Amuro slices all these things, and we get back to the conversation. The strength you're displaying tells me if I don't defeat you, Char will die. Reasonable. Cut-ins, multicolored. There it is. So it's all about Char, huh? And she says, this is part I don't understand. Hold on. I'm afraid you arrived too late? Too late? Why did you have to appear now? So, if you had appeared before, there could have been a thing between you and me instead of with Char? If you had appeared before... If you hadn't appeared now, there wouldn't be a problem, because we would just win. If you'd appeared earlier... I don't get it. I don't get it. What's the too late thing about? Do you have ideas about what the too late thing is about? If so, throw them in the comments. I'd love to read them. Cool backflip. Ka-chunk, ka-pow. How can you keep fighting like this? You have no one to defend and nothing to protect, and yet. This is interesting. So my response to this as a watcher and also putting myself in Amuro's shoes, my response to this is, girl, you don't know me. I got shit to protect. I got Fraubo and Bright and Kai and Mirai and Artesia, not her name, but you know what I mean. I've got all these people that I want to protect. I've been fighting to protect them this whole time, as well as my own life, as well as the Federation to some extent. I've got tons of stuff to protect. But... on the other hand, as far as the show is concerned, she's not wrong. Amuro has lost his ties to everything that he should want to protect. He, real early on, lost that tie with his mother, family. Lost it with his father when he found out that his father kind of is not the same person anymore. And he's got no dedication to the Federation or his homeland. Not really. They're just forced to be soldiers because they're forced to be soldiers. So why do you keep fighting as though you care? Interesting question. I have nothing to protect, and it's like he actually buys that when he says it. There's no family in your heart and no homeland either. So what? So what? And that's our mid-roll. Wow. Helpful. Okay, we get to turn our attention to cool battle stuff again. This guy swinging, getting exploded, super cool. Big explosions, and the Gelgoog joins the fight, crucially. While they continue to dogfight. I do actually really like these moments. They feel silly to some extent. They're like Dragon Ball Z fighting, but these moments as they're like zooming in and out of frame and into space makes them feel really fast, and that's cool. I like that. But then we end up in weird space. Zappy space, where we can just communicate. Is it wrong to fight if I have nothing to defend? Well, it's unnatural, not necessarily wrong. So what are you doing, Lala? Well, I'm fighting to protect Char, obviously. Fighting for the one person who saved me. That's it? There's nothing else? I love this face from Amuro. So, like, what? How simple. It's a truth that one lives for. So then this transitions in a weird way. Does it mean nothing that we met? Was our meeting meaningless? Us two people who can communicate with each other through our fucking minds. And she starts to drift away. And as though she starts to wonder if it's true, if it's real. Was this destiny? Was this possibly destiny? Could this have been fate? But why? Why this tragic destiny? If this is fate, then life is just too cruel. But Amuro begins to lean into it. Open your eyes. Look at me. Could you really be right? Could you really be the one for me? Is it fate, as you say? And then her boyfriend swoops in. And everybody starts to get a vibe. Sayla gets a vibe off this. We get Mirai getting a vibe. Amuro, don't do it. And they're coming in closer to each other. Why Amuro don't do it? I don't know. So we get some philosophical hipster shit from Amuro. We're all burdened with our own fate. Why would fate be so cruel? Because we all have our own fates. Maybe our fate is to be together, you and me. And then shit gets wild. Love the way this looks. Love the ocean. Fucking crazy. Don't know what it represents. Feels deep and dark and scary and unknown. And it's over top of darkness. It splits and becomes waves that crash down. And then we become a swirl of color and light and emotion, and Lala appears in the middle of it and expands outward into the world. And we get all these flashing, crazy tube lights as Char arrives and tells you to stop cheating with that guy. Stop it, you're mine. Cut, cut, flash, flash, fight, fight. Okay, and we start this battle in earnest. Char versus Amuro, and it's rad. It's swords versus guns, swords versus double swords. Weird sound effect for the double sword going brrr. Helicopter, I guess. Chop, chop, chop. All these cut-ins, right? Stay back, Sayla. And he cuts Sayla's craft, not even recognizing that it's her. I need to crush that Gundam. Give your guidance. What would you do? Lala, snap out of it. And she will help him. She makes her choice. And Amuro is angry. So now we're fighting over the girl. I will not let you take Lala away. And Amuro is fighting for the girl. I really like this moment. It's, here? Is it before? It's before. Okay. So we get this swing across Char's goggles. Swing. And then this. And then Amuro hits it and then brushes it to the side. And I love that he brushes it to the side. It just feels really cool. Boom. And we put a lot of emphasis on it. Right? And then he hits this pose at the end that really sticks into my eyes. I like that a lot. But you're fighting on both sides. And it's obvious in the fighting that Amuro has improved dramatically. Dramatically. It's really cool. Yeah, dodging things by a hair, firing bullets, firing stuff. It's super cool. And he goes to chop her boat, Sayla's ship, and he stops it just barely. But we set up the tension. And we cut in everybody of different colors. Red, green, blue. I love this. Might be my favorite frame of the episode, which is a crazy thing to say, given all the crazy shit that's in this episode. But this might be my favorite frame. It just looks super cool. Saves Sayla. So this stuff here, the micro tension and tension resolution, scene to scene, is the best fighting that we've had in Mobile Suit Gundam. What do I mean? I mean that the stakes in a Gundam fight are usually, for most of this series, do we live or do we die? Micro tension would be, does Char dramatically and ironically slice his sister in half while he swings out backhandedly in the middle of a different dogfight to just take out an enemy strike craft? Oh my god, is he going to kill his sister? Nope. That's the microtension and then resolution, right? Those little aspects melded into the rest of the battle stuff that make us care about the individual outcomes of individual portions of the fight are really cool. Really fucking cool. They add so much, and I like them a lot. And it adds a lot to this fight, and it makes things really good. Blam, no shield. Putting him back into a corner. Seila-san? And she goes for it again, and he goes for it again. And Lala realizes that he will regret this decision, and so in protecting Char, saves him from himself. Blocks him from that, and he realizes that it's Artesia in there. I almost. But you didn't. And the fight continues. But in that moment, a moment of weakness, a moment of realization, Amuro strikes. Because of course he does. Chops off Char's arm. I have you now, Char. And he goes in for the killing blow. And Lala puts herself in the way. And to both of their dismay, I love the way he puts one hand of the Gundam on it. Like, oh, shit. To both of their dismay, Lala shatters, and her brain powers go off into the universe, and she becomes a part of Amuro's head, and then an ocean swarms up over top of him and consumes him? This feels like being consumed by deep depression or something like that, but I don't know what it's meant to be. Explosions of lights, crazy conversations. The humans are all becoming like us. And he has this last moment of communion and communication with him. With her. Do you honestly believe that? Yes. And they drift toward each other. We were able to understand each other. Maybe others can too. Weird trippy shit. More trippy shit. Love this part, because it's got to be 2D, like, hand done, and it's excellent looking. And far away, as we bring the insert song in, we see Space Heaven, where we can run around free and happy forever. And then we see sperm fertilize a weird space egg. I don't get that shit. Don't know what it is. And an immense explosion, and we leave Amuro in tears. I love this too. It's really cool looking. Super unique effect. And Char loses the one person he cares about. Well, one of two. He cares about Artesia. Lala. She's gone. What is his last line? I've done something I can never take back. Correct you are, Amuro. This is going to destroy him. And we turn from there to normal battle stuff. I mean, the battle has been won effectively, right, in this moment. Char has to leave, has to go report his failure to Kycilia. The solar ray is beginning to get ready to fire. The rest of the fleet operation is happening. And again, we don't really have time to deal with this, but we do get this little bit of a moment where Amuro convinces them effectively that he is okay through the help of Haro. And we prepare for further battle as the solar ray readies itself and then fires at the end of the episode. Boom! Lala's dead. And the war marches on uncaring. Has there been a better character death? I don't think there's been a better character death. So many characters care about her. So much is like, it hinges seemingly on Lala. So much changes, I think, because of Lala's death. And I think that's the important part here. And I think that's what we're supposed to get across from this. Lala is the new breed of Zeon fucking new type. She's the spearhead, and she's Char's spearhead. And then she's Char's love. And Amuro cares about her because she's the one person he can psycho-communicate with. Her existence would put... I don't know what it would be, because I don't know what happens next in Gundam. But whatever happens next will be intrinsically determined by Lala's absence, right? The loss of Lala is going to determine the fate of this universe. And so it feels fitting that she would... like, that would be something we'd put so much effort on. And so much emphasis onto. It feels super right to me. This whole episode feels super right to me. There are some little tiny things that are a little bit weird, but from the fight choreography to the dialogue to the decisions that people are making and characters are making to the way that the battles are playing out, everything about this episode felt really on point to me. And that's not something that I can say about every Gundam episode. This one feels really good. They all, so far, in the last section, have felt really freaking good. Amazing. Okay, well, again, we've had over an hour discussion for Gundam. I was kind of thinking that if it was going to be like a shorter discussion, we would just do some battle stuff or something like that. That we would watch 2 and then do the finale next week. But it looks like we're going to do 111. I saw at least one person was complaining about that. I'm really doing it because these last few episodes have been worth discussing more in depth and more like putting more focus on each individual episode. And I've really been enjoying them and having a lot of fun talking about them. So forgive me for splitting them up this way. I promise it's not a like, oh, keeping Gundam on the channel makes me more like viewers or more money. It's not a popular series on the channel. This is just how I want to watch these episodes, and I'm really enjoying doing it this way. So sorry for the wait, but I appreciate your patience, and we will hopefully get better discussion and more interesting stuff out of Gundam by doing it this way here at the end as these episodes have continued to grow more and more interesting. So please bear with me. Thank you. Okay. That's going to be a wrap for us. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Mobile Suit Gundam episode 41. Cosmic glow as Lala passes from this universe and into the beyond. Wow. Kind of shocking. Cool. See you next week for more Gundam as we find out what the aftermath of the solar ray going off will be. And if there's any aftermath for Lala dying, I assume everything will change because of that, but we will have to wait and see. Thanks for watching. See you next week for more. Peace.